Hi, welcome to Craic and Crafting Christmas Countdown. Today's project is part of my Christmas series of free tutorials. If you're already a subscriber to my free newsletter, you will be receiving this tutorial way before it is released for public viewing. If you're not currently a subscriber, then check out the detail at the end of this video. It's quick and easy to subscribe to get loads of free hints and tips and tutorials straight to your inbox, so watch out for the detail at the end of this video. So today we're going to make this lovely little Christmas card. As you can see by all the reflections, it's made on a card base that was made from a window sheet or acetate, whichever you prefer to call it. I've made the trees by using the Woodlands embossing folder and Whisper White cardstock, and I simply just cut the tree shapes out from that using the craft knife. So we need the big shot and we need our big shot platform. You won't need the thin die adapters. We're not cutting on this, we're simply embossing, so we can put that to the side. And you will need two standard cutting pads, cutting mats. These ones I mark with an E and keep them for embossing, and that way it keeps them nice and clear. The ones I use for cutting, you will see at some point they're all scratched. So to make your sandwich, I've got my Whisper White cardstock and my Woodland embossing folder. As you'll feel it, one side is raised. This is the raised side. Put the card against that. And I check. I'm putting it to this side because I like the way these branches are. So to make your embossing sandwich, so it's your plate, embossing folder with your cardstock, and then another plate on top. Put that onto your big shot platform and run it through. It's as easy as that. And here we go. Now that's your standard embossed impression, and that's lovely as it is. However, I'm going to use the craft knife, as I said, to cut all that out. Now I've taken the lights down a wee bit so that you can see this clearly, and obviously brought over my cutting mat. It's a self-healing mat and perfect for all this. In the meantime, I've drawn in with a pencil a line, roughly the shape that I want the hills to be in. So this is where we start our cutting, and we're going to cut all this excess away just down to here. If you don't want to use a craft knife, you could use a pair of scissors. That'll do the job just as well. Okay, now this is our finished piece. So I'd used the craft knife and the scissors basically combined to cut it out. The craft knife cut out the straight bits and the scissors cut out the more fiddly bits. Then I coated it with some shimmer paint. This is the frost white colour. There's a little ball inside it. You do need to give it a shake to stir it up, and use a paintbrush, or I just used a little cotton bud and smeared it on quite generously. These two pieces are for the inside and the reverse of the card. So basically I got two pieces of cardstock, ripped them, one that way and reverse the other one because this is going on the back of the card, and coated them also in the shimmer paint. So the next thing left to do is to die cut our beautiful deer. So now we've our big shot back, and this time I am going to use the thin die adapter because we'll be cutting, and I'm going to use my cutting plates. These are the ones I'd said they're quite scratch looking because these are the ones that I use for cutting. So now we've got our silver foil cardstock, gorgeous little reindeer die from the Detailed Deers Thinlet set. Couldn't remember the name there. So you set your cardstock down, die on top of it, make your sandwich of the two cutting plates, and as you've done previously, whoops, it's wobbling the paper, just run it through. There we go, as simple as that. And I just need to remove the silver foil now from this. The easiest way to remove the silver foil is to use the foam pad and brush that are specifically for this purpose. You just run it over, and there it is. Now to start putting it all together, I've used a little bit of snail just to run along the back of the tree branches, and as it's placed on a silicone mat, I can wipe away any of the excess adhesive that is left there. I've also put some on the back of the two snowbanks as well. So all we need to do now is bring in our piece of acetate. We'll start with the front first. Let me get this out of the way. And trying to put it upside down. Keep the branches out of the way. Line this up to the bottom. Let me just check which is the leading edge. Oh, that's right. So line this up here, and once that's down, you can let the branches just fall into place like that. If needs be, you can trim a little bit off the top. So that's that bit done. Next we want the inside. Now I'm going to change the bank and put it round this way. So I'm going to open it up and again line it up with the bottom like that. So you've got your snowbank now on the inside, and then we don't want it showing through too much on the outside. We want to cover that messy bit, and we'll put this other one on the back like that. So that's your snowbanks and your trees ready, and it just remains to put our lovely little deer on. So we've got Stampin' Dimensionals here. I love that they've brought out the mini dimensionals as well, so you can fit any little size without having to cut these bigger ones. But I'm going to use a bigger one first and see what I need after that. So I'm going to actually put it, rather than putting it on the deer, I'm going to put it on the tree trunk, because I don't want to put it directly onto the acetate. I want to make sure not to do that. And let's see, put another little one, maybe use a smaller one about here. Let me see. I think that should hold it okay. So let's take the backing off these. Oops. And place that down. And that's our little deer sitting upright. And now we just need to do a sentiment. So I am using the Merry Christmas stamp from the Teeny Tiny Sentiment stamp set. However, that has been replaced this year with another stamp set. I can't remember the name of it now. I think it's Itty Bitty Sentiments or something like that. I really should have checked that before I came on the video, but there we go. So I'm stamping directly onto the silver foil with Stays On Black ink. Love the smell of that. It smells like marzipan. I could actually bite into that nearly. Let that dry a little second, and using the classic label punch, line it up, punch it out, easy peasy. And again, I just want to use some of the mini dimensionals to get this ready to pop into place. And that's job done basically. All you need now is to stamp a sentiment or write a message on the back of it, but it's very, very hard to see with the lights, but I hope you get the idea. It is really, really beautiful, and the shimmer paint makes it just wow. The one thing I finished on the other one was I'd added a little bit of holly ribbon and a little bell that I had from last year's stock. So I hope you've enjoyed that today. Probably not my best video. It's been a while and I've been slightly nervous, to be honest. So thank you for persevering, and I look forward to doing the next video for you. Until then, bye bye. Well, that's it for today, folks. Thanks for stopping by. Check out the handy link below to subscribe to my free newsletter. Subscribe now and you will immediately receive a free PDF tutorial, and you can look forward to receiving regular updates, hints, tips and tutorials before they're released elsewhere. The details to subscribe to my free newsletter are detailed just underneath this video. You may need to click the Show More button to see it in full. If you like my video, I would love it if you would give me a thumbs up and even leave me a quick comment. And don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel to get immediate notification when a new video is posted. Until next time, bye.